Hello and welcome to another installment of The Fueling Station, the podcast that talks about everything related to retail petroleum. We are here live in Las Vegas at the 2022 PEI NAC show. My name is Ed Kammerer. I'm your host, one of the Podtroleum guys, and normally I would be joined by my buddy Jonathan Stong, but apparently Jonathan Stong is a little under the weather and didn't make the trip to Vegas. So we thought being here live at the show would be a great opportunity to have a podcast and talk about, as people are coming through the booth, what are they interested in? What are the hot topics in the industry? What are people talking about? And one of the things that everybody talks about, or at least I don't care if you're a marketer, if you're a distributor, if you're a contractor, if you're a manufacturer, really anything in the industry, everybody has to train their people. And I thought a great person to bring on the show is our very own Director of Training for OPW, Lewis Bell. And we're going to talk about the things that we've been hearing at the show, what people are interested in, and then the different ways that people can obtain training, whether it's in person, online, via whatever mechanism we have. So, Lewis, welcome to the podcast. I'm excited to have you.
Thank you, Ed, for inviting me. It's good to be here. It's been a great show. We've been doing a lot of demos of the training material that we produced over the last year. We always emphasize, the reason I came to OPW to work is because OPW believes in training. And I knew that my job here would be one that training would be respected and encouraged. And so I love training, and we've developed quite a few resources this year that are brand new, and so we're highlighting those at the show.
Great. So you probably hear the background noise as kind of part of the experience, the ambiance here.
You may hear us go hello to somebody who's walking by.
Some people are coming up. We have customers coming by. This is actually the second day of the show. We couldn't do the podcast yesterday because, to be honest with you, it was so busy. We were talking to customers pretty much from the time the show opened to the show end. The show took a little break because of COVID. It came back last year in Chicago. The attendance was fairly good, but this year, now that the world is completely open again,
I was just telling somebody it's just like pre-COVID show. I mean, it's the big crowds. The people are excited about the equipment. It's a different show this year than it was last year.
And the other thing I noticed is we have all of our international customers back.
Yep.
They weren't able to make the trip last year, so it's exciting to see our friends from Latin America, from Europe, from Asia. A lot of different people attending the show from around the world. And, as I kind of talked about at the beginning, Lewis, training is super important in our industry. We have people that are handling, installing, and working with, flammable, explosive materials. And if the equipment isn't installed properly, bad things can happen.
Exactly. And what we've discovered is these guys that are working on this equipment, installing this equipment, they're not just installing our equipment, they're installing everybody's equipment. And so keeping their resources, their training resources, keeping it all up to date is tough. And we realize that. And so that's the reason we made our product guide app that's free, and anybody can get it. And it gives you everything you need in order to install several of our products that are more complex. We created all the resources. It's all included in the app.
Right. So we did an episode, a few episodes earlier, and we talked about the importance of certifications.
Yeah.
Primarily for the petroleum contractors in the industry. But we talked about certification, but we really didn't talk about how do you get that certification.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing about training though is not only do you have to be trained to install the products, but say you're a distributor of ours or even a large marketer, and you bring in a new person to the industry. It's kind of a crazy industry. You and I have been doing this a long time,
Yeah.
So we know a lot of the ins and outs. But someone from the outside that comes in this industry, they're like, what the heck?
Start hitting them with terms like overfill and spill protection and ullage, and their eyes glass over, and it's not normally. I ask people here at the show all the time, how do you train your people? And they tell, they do a ride along, and then they sit and talk to one of our senior techs, and I go, man, there's an easier way, because we realized that years ago. Matter of fact, you and I filmed our original series of 101 videos like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And we published those, and our distributors overnight started using them to train their people, brand new people, because it's presented in like a 10,000 foot view of the fueling industry as far as the equipment, the site, everything that's underground that they can't see. And then we decided, hey, it's time to give those a little bit of an update. And you and I got together back in the spring, and so this year we have brand new videos, and I got to tell you, you did a great job, Ed.
Thanks, Lewis. Well, it's all about the production value, which I leave all that in your hands. It's funny you talked about terms like, stage 1 vapor recovery, ullage, overfill. But the other thing that blows people away when they come in our industry, they're like, what the heck is with all these 3-letter acronyms? I mean, you could publish a book on 3 and 4-letter acronyms, and so that's what we do. We call it, Retail Fueling 101. So, like Lewis said, it's designed for new people to the industry. So whether you're new to a distributor, whether you're new to a marketer, or actually really what surprised me, Lewis, was how many actually regulators, these people from different states, whether they're from the underground storage tank division, the air division, or even people within the EPA, they have come to me and said, hey, we love these videos that we can show our people that are coming into the petroleum industry as a regulator, and we can bring them, get them up to speed pretty quickly, just using basic information and kind of give them the big picture of how things, how we do things here in the industry, and what some of these some of these crazy terms are. So I was really proud of that when regulators started coming up and thanking us for putting those videos out.
And another thing the regulators love, they love that calculator that's in our app too. We've got a calculator that's built into our app that helps you cut that top tube on a 71SO drop tube to the correct length every time. And the regulators like that as well. But when the phrase that I think of, Ed, is the rising tide lifts all boats. And so we make this industry smarter as an industry. We all benefit. And so if it's regulators, if it's distributors, if it's customers, I'm trying to get them to use our training material for their people, because it doesn't matter if they're using all of our products or not. If they get more knowledgeable, it helps us all.
Yep.
And but it has been a great thing that we experimented. It was an experiment to start with, and it worked. And now it's just part of our DNA now.
So let's just talk about how the people can find some of those resources. You mentioned this app. So OPW does have an app. I'm sure they can find it on any
Absolutely.
Apple,
all you got to do
Android.
is go to the Apple Store, the Android Store, and just type in OPW Product Guide. Frankly, you could probably just type in OPW and it'll come up. But OPW Product Guide, and install it. It's free, and trust me, you won't uninstall it. You're going to love that app. But then in addition to that, that's the app. But the videos, if you really want to get to these 101 training videos, there's 2 different ways. The first way is through YouTube. You can just go directly to YouTube, type in OPW 101 Retail Fueling, and it will bring up our videos. Or a better way, and the reason I say it's a better way is because this way you can get a workbook that you could download to go with it, and that's to go to our website, www.opwglobal.com. And if you just tap on the retail fueling and then tech support, it will bring up the training videos.
And we call this OPW University.
OPW University.
So I got another question for you, because I know you came from another manufacturer that was big on training.
Yep.
And so Lewis, if I was a contractor and I wanted to receive, whether it was training to be certified to install our FlexWorks, or whether it was EVR, I have to install underground equipment, I need to have an EVR certification. How much is OPW going to charge me for that training?
Oh man, I'm glad you asked that, because I'm very proud to know that I work for a company that loves training so much we just give it away. We think it's a part of our products. So if our sales guys sell somebody a sump or a spill bucket, along with that automatically comes the training. You don't have to pay for training over and above. Hey, thanks for buying the spill bucket. Now, if you want the training, you've got to pay X amount. We don't charge anything for training.
Yep.
Our FlexWorks training is done by our DMs. They actually go to the site. They will meet you at the site and in the trench with you, show you how to properly install these and certify your people. If it's EVR training, we can either go to you and train you, or we've got online training for EVR for UST and AST, and it's as easy as watching a presentation. and then taking an exam, and then you're certified.
Yeah, and that's one thing I'm really proud of. OPW does not use training as a profit center.
No.
We understand the importance of it. We can only make, so we want to make sure that everybody understands our products, how to use them properly, and then not only, like we talked about, not just our products, but just the industry in general.
Yep.
We love this industry so much. We want to teach new people about it and teach new people, to understand and eventually hopefully become and love it as much as we do. So, hey, Louis, thanks for stopping by. This is always a great conversation. I could talk to you all day about this. So again, just kind of wrap everything up. If you want to do any type of training with OPW, there's a couple of ways to do it. We do it in person. All of our sales guys, our field guys, they're able to do training in person. On the job site is a great place, a great way to do the training. That's actually our preferred method, is when the trench is open, the tank hole is open, and our guys are working right alongside your guys, putting in the equipment together. That's one way. Again, we don't charge for our guys to show up and do the training. If that's not possible, we can do it remotely via a WebEx or Teams. And then certainly the other training videos that we have, as you talked about, you can find them on OPW University, either at YouTube or at opwglobal.com. And then there's always the app. A lot of great information there. So again, we're live from Las Vegas. Woo-hoo. Everybody loves Las Vegas at a 2022 PEI NAC show. Again, I'm Ed Kammerer, host of the Fueling Station. My good friend Louis Bell. Johnny Stong, I wish you were here with me, but take care of those feet.
Thanks, John. You gave me an opportunity to be here.
Take care of those feet, brother, and we'll see you next time. This has been the Fueling Station. I'm Ed Kammerer. I'll talk to you next time.